And the clinch is what I've always done well in Thai boxing. You know, I'm quite tall and I like those knees, and it just happened that was the fight tonight, the way it played out.
How hurt were you at the end of the first round? It seemed like you had you pretty shaken.
I mean, I wasn't actually that hurt, to be honest, but I did take some big shots, and you are kind of moving. But more so I was on the bottom thinking, don't stop the fight, you know. Unless I move and get up and move a little bit, there's justification for the referee to stop it. So that was all I was really thinking about.
Respect fight, Danny. You had a bit of a pop at TRT at the end there. You know, is this kind of a personal thing? You've had this for quite a while. An issue with TRT users in the sport?
Well, no, I see it a lot recently. I mean, I just think nothing seems to be done about it. I mean, no one wants to come out and speak about it. Obviously, the UFC had done drug testing, and Dana spoke about it really, but. You know, we've seen Lance Armstrong, the cycling epidemic, and all worldwide sports right now. And you know, I'm at the top level here, and I'm going in against guys. You know, they look like they're on another planet. You know, it's no coincidence. I mean, you know, I made an example of to another journalist of looking at Alistair Overeem, and everybody said, "Oh, he didn't take the drugs he lost." I mean, come on, you're telling me he didn't take anything? Everybody knows. People know who the guys are. You know, someone's just asked me, was I having a go at Vitor? And I wasn't having a go at Vitor, but why does he get to take testosterone? I'm training 3 times a day. I'm exhausted to death. I don't get to stick anything in my body. So. You know, everybody goes to work, all of you lot go to work, you wake up. Do you take testosterone to go to work? You don't. So something needs to be done, and that's why I raised it.
Tom, London Cage Fighters. Has your training changed now you're in your 30s? You're going to be 31 this year, aren't you?
Really, my training changed a little bit after I had 3 surgeries. You know, I had 2 elbow operations and a back operation, and I say it's changed, but I'm still crazy. I still train too much, you know. Good friends with Brian Stan, and we both joke at each other that you know, everybody comes in, does 1 session or 2 sessions. We're in there 3-4 times a day.
And how much of your training is actually in the UK now?
I do a little bit here. I mean, I'll be here for 2 weeks now. I'll be at Kettle's gym a lot. Work with Jude Samuel in London. But I do predominantly most of my training in the States. Obviously at Jackson's, and recently for this fight I trained a lot with Mark Munoz and the guys out in California. So.
Okay, good stuff. And how are you feeling? How are you feeling after the fight?
Oh, I feel good. You know, it's a strange experience to be in there and then be on the floor and then you know, be there, have knock someone out and put on a great fight. You know, I think last time I thought I put Fight of the Night on. This time I think I put it on, but there's a lot of fights to go, and I'm just I just hope that someone gives me the bonus or something.
Tom, you spoke a lot about TRT there in your post-fight. Do you think that fighters cycling with regular steroids in their training camps is a big problem in the UFC? Would you be in favour of the VADA testing being brought into the UFC, random drug tests any time as opposed to just fight night?
Yeah, and I know everybody talks about how expensive it is, but listen, this is you know, it's an industry that makes a lot of money, and you know, look, as fighters, we pay our own medicals, we pay our blood work and our brain scans. Why isn't there maybe a fee that comes out that goes towards a drug test in a year? I mean, I do a drug test every day. I mean, the only people that say they won't is in my opinion, people who've got something to hide. So.
You've always been a fan-friendly fighter, and today, that arena, I don't think I've heard it's like at a UFC for many fights, let alone. How important was that crowd? Did you hear them? Did it help at all? Did you hear them?
Yeah, I mean, I pumped them up before the fight, and the weigh-in yesterday, you know, Cub Swanson said to me after as well, I think you had the loudest cheer, you know, in your 3rd fight. But like I said, I fought in this arena. That was my 7th fight at Wembley, and I've been fighting a long time in the UK and for these fans. So I think a lot of the fans here have supported me. They've been on the journey and they've seen, you know, where I've been, and I just think it's good to repay them with a good victory.
12,000 cornermen yelling me too.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. That was an amazing performance.
Right, thank you.
You spoke about the challenging middleweights on TRT. Do you have anyone in particular that you'd like to challenge?
No, I mean, you know, it's difficult for me to say because I think really half of my division's probably on something. So whatever, you know, whatever the UFC wanted to do. You know, I didn't choose Brad Tavares. I didn't choose Nedkov. I'm not going to choose my next opponent. So Joe Silva, you know, gets paid very well, and look, he matched up the Nedkov fight, and look what happened. So, you know, I'll leave it in his hands, and I'm a type of fighter that, you know, I don't fear anybody, and I'll take a fight, and that's where I learn about myself. So.
It seems like you're overwhelming. You're obviously happy to win, but you said as well that you were mainly happy that it was, you know, you put on a good performance. It was a good fight for the fans. You know, you weren't too good about win or loss. Is your overriding feeling out of this more a sense of relief than happiness?
I mean, everybody's going to go on what I'm saying now, but you know, I said this in my last fight. Everybody said, "Oh, it was a disappointing fight against Tavares," and I actually thought it was quite a good fight. You know, I went out there with the idea of pushing the pace and lost the fight with takedowns, really. But it's just a hard road, you know. I didn't grow up, I didn't do any fighting until I was 18, 19 years old, and you just keep trying and improving. And really, all I do is I set out to get better every fight and work on different things. And as I spoke about earlier, I didn't do any clinch for this fight, but you know, obviously I done it years ago, and it paid off tonight. So right after this fight, I'll be back in the gym this week and just working hard until I get another fight. So.
Sorry, Tom, one quick question. How important are fight of the night, sub of the night, knockout of the night bonuses for UK-based fighters where sponsorship mightn't be such a great thing? They're already going in at a little bit of a disadvantage. No great wrestling culture over here. They're the most exciting fights, but how important is it for the UK fighters?
I think it's all fighters. You know, I think it's all fighters. I mean, the thing I'll say with the UFC now is the sponsorship, I think, has changed a little bit. And you know, unless you're on the main card, it's very hard to get sponsors. You know, I was on Facebook tonight and I lost 3 sponsors because of that. So, you know, these bonuses are important, and I spend all of my money training. You know, and you know, if I stop tomorrow, I'm going to a 9-to-5 job like anyone else. So, these bonuses really just help me train and really pay my coaches to keep improving.